And you have to look at what microcredit like People's Bank and other banks and other microfinance organizations are doing around the world without collateral, without lawyers, lend money, and repayment rate is near 99%, 98%. And conventional banks, with all the smart lawyers, with all the collateral, now $1 trillion disappeared. So this is a good time to reflect what the banking system should be, how it could be redesigned. So this is how we addressed, and in in Bangladesh, Bangladesh is not a very easy country for poor people, for any people, because of disasters. We have very frequent disasters. We have floods. Bangladesh is a very flat country. And we have lots of rains in monsoon. And all the big rivers in the world, particularly Asian big rivers, many of them converge in Bangladesh to go to the sea. So when we have rain around us, all the rainwater has to pass through Bangladesh. And that overflows, and we have floods. And floods sometimes get so bad, we cannot even save our life getting onto the rooftops. House is already underwater, only roof is the place which is still, water has not reached. So people go and take shelter over the roof. How long can you live on the roof like this? Not a very sturdy roof either. It becomes extremely difficult. But it's still, microcredit programs in Bangladesh and similarly other countries, performance is very strong. Repayment is very high, and people enjoy that. On top of it, Grameen Bank we designed as a bank owned by the borrowers. It's not a bank owned by the government. It's not a bank owned by the rich people. It's not a bank owned by me. I don't own even a single share of Grameen Bank. Grameen Bank is owned by the borrowers who take loans from Grameen Bank. And we make sure when we take people inside of Grameen Bank, when they enter, we make sure they come from the extremely poor families. And we say, if you have any furniture inside your house, you have to wait, because you are a little higher than people that we are looking for. We are looking for people who do not have any furniture inside the house. If you have 2 rooms, then we say you have to wait, because we are looking for people who have only 1 room. And their life is all limited to this 1 room. If you have a solid roof over your head, we say you have to wait, because we are looking for people with leaky roof, where rainwater gets inside the house. So that's the kind of effort we make so that we can go to the very bottommost. And then gradually they take loan and change their life. We even give loans to beggars. Beggars who make a living by going door to door. Still it works. One of the important features of our banking is savings, because we take tiny little savings from the borrowers so that they can have their own personal bank account. It's very important to have a personal bank account, even if you cannot save much, even if you can save a penny. Still very important. Even if you put a little tiny money in your bank account every week and continue to do so over years, it becomes a big money. And since Grameen Bank is working now over 31 years, borrowers' account have lots of money, because they save tiny, tiny, tiny money very regularly. We lend out, Grameen Bank lends out over $1 billion each year. Where does this money come from? Grameen Bank doesn't take money from the government. Grameen Bank doesn't take money from international sources, international agencies, donors, any donor country or any donor agency. Grameen Bank doesn't borrow from anybody. Where does the money come from? Money comes from the deposits. Deposits taken by the bank are lent out to the poor people. Each branch of Grameen Bank has 2,500 plus branches. Each branch is supposed to be self-sufficient with their own money. They are not supposed to ask for money from anybody. They just take deposits and lend the money to the poor people. The reason I'm saying that it is a self-contained bank, owned by the poor people, poor women, and change their life. And the one is missing point, which is not frequently mentioned, I want to mention to you. Out of all the money that we lent out, 67% of that money comes from the deposit of the borrower themselves. No joke. 67% of the money that we lend out comes from the poor people themselves, because over time they have built up such an enormous amount of savings. We have very attractive savings packages, which excites them. They want to put their money into those bank savings accounts. So it shows how a bank can be owned by the poor people and virtually financed by themselves and change their own life. Grameen Bank offers insurance programs. We have health insurances, not all over Bangladesh, but in certain areas of Bangladesh we started it to see how it works out, and it works beautifully. A Grameen Bank borrower will pay, say, $2 a year for health coverage of the entire family. And out of that, Grameen Bank will put a qualified doctor in the village, paramedics, nurses, pathological lab, all together, so that people can have their health service right there. You know what? We cover all the cost by these insurance programs. We have no problem. But the reason we cannot expand it is not because of the financial problem. The reason we cannot expand it because of the problem of keeping doctors in the village. We find it extremely difficult to keep the doctors in the village. They always want to go back to the city. And when they take the job, we give them good salary, but after 3 months, 6 months, they will quit the job and go to the city because city is so much more attractive for them. So now we have decided that we will produce our own doctors. We want to have a big medical college and have our own type of doctors so that they feel comfortable working in the villages, and we'll give them attractive career path. We have insurance of various types. One mentioned about health insurance. Another one is loan insurance. Very popular insurance program in Grameen Bank. It simply says, in the case of the death of the borrower, if the borrower dies suddenly, leaving behind her loan unrepaid, no matter what the amount of unrepaid loan, outstanding loan is, this will be immediately written off. Actually, it will be paid off by the insurance program, so that the family doesn't have to pay a penny after the death of the borrower. So everybody feels very comfortable.